Hello, everybody. Welcome to Galaxy Brains, where the only thing bigger than our brains is our capacity for self-amusement. I am Patrick Daugherty, joined by Denny Carter. And Denny, I hear you want to get us going with maybe some of the updates that Kadarious Toney has been making to his resume now that he is no longer a starting New York Giants receiver.
Yeah, well, we have Kadarious Toney now third string practice, practicing with guys who weren't on the team 15 minutes ago, taking reps with, ball
I think one
boys.
of them is Steven Stills.
Right, Steven, preseason hero, by the way, DFS hero.
From CSNY.
And so it begs the question, how far can the Giants go with this bit of how do we humiliate Kadarious Toney? And I do wonder, are we just 1 week away from, I don't know, having Kadarious Toney pick the grass out of Sterling Shepard's cleats? I mean, are we going to get there?
I think we're already there. I mean, Darius Slayton was a healthy scratch last week. He is now ahead of Kadarious Toney, and forcing Kadarious Toney to basically do his bidding on what Kadarius, he gets to any route that used to be Kadarious Toney's now belongs to Darius Slayton. They actually did this like a ritual in front of the entire team, where he ritually handed over his routes to Darius Slayton. And then the more menial tasks, of course, like flavoring the Gatorade, coloring the Gatorade, because blue Gatorade doesn't actually taste blue. It tastes totally different. Kadarious Toney, he's down very bad at Giants practice, didn't he?
He is. He's down the worst, some would say. And you know what? The team is doing this to their best receiver, which is curious.
And no one is down quite as bad as Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel. I'd say despite a stirring week 1, 20-7 victory over Bill Belichick, the arch nemesis of literally every football coach in America, Mike said that as an assistant coach, he used to be able to make it from Sunday to Wednesday without showering, Denny.
Man.
But that for some unknown reason, he could do that as an assistant coach, but he can't do that as a head coach. I guess because he has meet with the media more.
Right.
But I was to say, as a Midwestern man racked by all-consuming shame and guilt, I've showered every single day since July 13th, 1999, when I was 12 years old. And is this like a phenomenon you understand? When was the last time you went without showering?
I do not understand it. I think it was on a snow day when we had lost power. And so we didn't have hot water. I was just like, forget it. I'm not showering. And that was 3 years ago. So being able to go 3 days, 3.5 days perhaps without showering is something that is totally foreign to me. Also, I don't buy this thing where assistant coaches are saying, I don't have time to bathe. I don't have time to eat, to bathe, to do anything a human should be doing on a daily basis. You cannot be watching that much film. I'm sorry. You just can't.
And we work from home and we still shower. Mike McDaniel, it's a bit of a forward-facing business where a lot of these rooms aren't really that big. You're alone in these rooms with these people, and really just a common courtesy. And like you said, I don't know how these guys, their families are starving, so they don't know how to budget this.
Can you imagine how you would smell? I would smell so bad that I would be gagging just smelling myself. I don't know how he did that.
Well, and our kids, they would let us know. Because my kids are in their hard truths phase of their lives. Yeah. And where if I've had an onion at any time in the past 6 days, my breath is apparently the worst thing on the face of the planet, Denny.
Absolutely. So we have another situation here in Pittsburgh where Mike Tomlin said of Jaylen Warren, the running back from, the rookie running back, he was asked to assess Jaylen Warren's week 1 performance, and he says, he's glad that Jaylen Warren did not, quote, pee his pants, which, that is a good, a solid indicator of NFL readiness, I think. He said, quote, he didn't urinate down his leg, and that's a great place to begin. And you know what, Pat? It's true. I can't argue with that.
We're getting mixed signals, I feel like, here from our NFL coaches, where one of them is so busy that he says he can't shower for 4 days. Where apparently in other teams, though, the bar is set so low. It's as long as they don't piss themselves, it's fine. Then they belong in the NFL. And are we working too much, too little here? I think we need to establish some sort of equilibrium between these levels of work. And Mike Tomlin's a team had a lot of success, so maybe every other team has to set the bar way too high, And yeah, if you've got 53 players who
Yeah.
they will not urinate on themselves, pledge.
I imagine Mike Tomlin grabbing Jalen Warren by the face mask before the game and bringing him in close and going, I believe in your ability not to urinate on your own leg today.
You know, this says a few disturbing things too. This also says that Mason Rudolph has never done this, even though there would be evidence to the contrary. Yeah, I feel like with some display. You like that, Denny? Denny Lovey Smith. He's doing a bit, in your words, where he asks, you know, how in the world do we not get more touches for Dameon Pierce? This, like, we're all trying to find the guy who did this. Me, the head coach of the Houston Texans, kind of like Urban Meyer. You're like, well, I don't know why James Robinson isn't playing for our football team. Lovey, he took it to really. He said sometimes though, when you look back, you can't defend the amount of reps our starting tailback got in some of those situations. I wish he had gotten more, and we're going to work on getting him more of those opportunities. Blah 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 blah. But Denny will basically Lovey Smith find the man who did this.
Right.
Give Dameon Pierce enough carries.
Lovey, listen, if you're listening, you're the coach. You're the head coach. But he's not, and he's not the first one. You know, you said Urban Meyer has done this. Pete Carroll has done this, talking about his running back touches. Like, we're going to get to the bottom of this. At no point is it a fog of war situation where they're in the game. You can't you can't possibly have the guy in the game who you want in the game. Like just anybody's in there at any time. Like, you don't have that level of control. It's very curious, like trying to find out who did this when you are the head honcho.
Yeah, Pete Carroll in the hot dog costume itself, just out of the hot dog car, surveying the wreckage of the Banana Republic. He just drove the car into and wondering why Rashad Penny only had 9 carries.
That's right.
Speaking of, why did Rashad Penny only have like 13 carries in week 1? I'm not at all bitter about this.
With massively positive game script and neutral game script, it remains to be seen. My showdown lineups are wondering the same.
It was a flag plant rank in my week 1 rankings. Like, people are way too low on Rashad Penny. Instead, we're all still trying to find the guy who did this.
That's right.
Anyway, we're all still trying to find the guy who talked up Rodrigo Blankenship for 3 years.
We are.
What's going on in Rodrigo's life?
Yeah, I don't know who would talk up Rodrigo Blankenship. I've never done that myself. But Blankenship was finally at long last waived by the Colts this week after kicking 2 kickoffs out of bounds and missing a critical 42-yard field goal in the humiliating tie with the Texans in week 1. The Colts have been looking for a reason, okay? And Rodrigo finally gave it to him, unfortunately. But in one of the saddest things I've seen of late, I in my recent memory,
and believe me, Denny's seen some sad things.
I do. I see sad things. Okay, I enjoy watching sad movies, sad shows, but this tops it. Rodrigo Blankenship pictured at a high school field near the Colts stadium right after being waived, kicking field goals by himself. You know, it's one of those things that breaks your heart. At least it breaks mine.
And it does. And it's why down bad now has much greater application than it used to, because you don't get downer badder than that. You just don't. And
I don't think.
But Denny, I will say, you used the word humiliated. Don't you find it humiliating that the whole lid was just blown off this kicker thing last Sunday, where Harrison Butker, he gets loaded into a wheelbarrow, taken off the field after he gets hurt, you know, can't kick supposedly. Everyone's like, oh, the Chiefs, they're screwed, you know, like, well, they can't kick the ball at all. And then they just put a safety in, and he immediately starts easily kicking, and he bombs a kickoff out of the end zone. He makes an extra point. The kicker lobby laundered through you for years.
Right.
He's been trying to make it seem like this is a difficult thing, and it's all been just revealed to be a gigantic sham. Are you embarrassed? Are you humiliated?
I'm not. And you know what? The kicker lobby pays well, and I appreciate that. No, only kickers can kick. What you saw with Justin Reed, that was actually an illusion created by network producers. You can ignore all that. By the way, Harrison Butker came back in with a busted left foot and did a one-step 54-yard field goal where he just took one single step and booted it through. It would have been good from 60. So, you know, I don't buy that. Kickers are still the only ones who can kick.
No, you know how I know kickers aren't real, Denny? That's because last year at this little thing called Super Bowl LV1, I'm trying to look at my commemorative football over there to see which Super Bowl it was. Super Bowl LV1, 2 fantasy football analysts by the name of Patrick and Denny I say we're easily bombing field goals in their business casual wear and their dress
Yeah.
shoes. And you still want to keep up the illusion that they're real, though. I just don't really understand.
Well, and thankfully, real kickers don't split their pants like we did.
No, yeah, real kickers aren't laid up with really like peculiar muscle aches for 3 days after kicking field goals. And just there's real kickers. Maybe they're real after all, is all I'll say. I was very sore.
Right. There you go.
I was very, very sore. And I'm very, very sore that this edition of Galaxy Brains has ended. We hope we have expanded your mind. We hope we have made you laugh as much as I secretly laughed at all my own quips. For Denny, I'm Pat. We'll be back next week.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBC Sports and Rotoworld.com. Just want to thank you so much for watching what you just watched, or at least being too lazy to click out of it after the autoplay just kept it going. So either way, thank you so much for just letting it scroll by your screen. And now I'd like to ask you respectfully, please subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel for the latest NFL news, fantasy headlines from Rotoworld, and betting analysis from NBC Sports Edge.